Okay, so in this video we're going to be troubleshooting a file submitted by Shawn Brown, who's having some issues with the character. So I've downloaded the file and we're getting ready to take a look at it, and this is what he submitted. Let's see here if we can. Alright, one of the first thing I noticed is that these arms are directly above other areas, so this could definitely cause an issue in overlapping because of the fact that when CTA reads certain things like this, it uses the placement of these pivots in relation to whatever's underneath them. So there's a good chance that the arms and stuff are going to have some kind of issue with these overlapping pivots and stuff. Also here I can see two pivots. Not sure exactly what those are, but we're going to take a closer look in a minute. Most likely this is the mouth and this is the head, the face, and that's the neck most likely. So it's kind of odd. I don't see anything too much that calls my attention. Let's see. Right off the bat, these little circles are just kind of like for guide purposes, I'm sure. So anyways, I take this SWF file and I went ahead and imported it into Crazy Talk, and this was the result. And first of all, that head is way up to the left up there. The neck is kind of bent to the side. This angle I guess looks decent. Here I can see one of his guide symbols that was embedded as part of the symbol itself, as part of that neck sprite, so that might be another issue to look into. So let's take a look at the notes. It says angle bottom right arm. Let's see, bottom right arm shows rotation circle included for reference purposes. On the bottom angle. Okay, let's take a look at the bottom. That right there. Okay, so let's take a look at that. And this is one of the problems that I have with using all these layers. It may, in theory, be a little bit easier to figure to sort everything out, but in practice, looking for stuff, not so easy. Angle, I guess maybe the bottom, there it is. So these would be the pivots. Let's take a look at the bottom angle and see what's happening there. So on the bottom angle we have an issue with the right arm. Okay, so let's go to properties, control F3. This is set up as a group. Let's double click that. That's a drawing object. Okay, let's take a look at that one. That's set up as a group, drawing object. Alright, so look at this. On this arm, this symbol here has been labeled right arm bottom. And let's unlock this real quick. So you have two symbols named right arm bottom, one here and one there. So that's your first problem. Let's I mean, we could either, I mean, I don't know how peculiar you are about your little guide circles. I personally don't even use them myself, but if you want to keep it, you could just delete the instance name for that. We're gonna save it. Shawn Brown. We're gonna replace that. Yes. I'm going to go to Crazy Talk Animator, import the new SWF file that's been saved, and we should no longer have that. few more seconds. Close that. Apparently it didn't quite do it. So there's still something else there. Let's see here. Well, you know what? Actually, the easiest thing that I can think of to do this is to get rid of all these damn circles. Assuming that he's doing all these in layers. Alright, so if there's no circles, then there's no reason why they should be exported. Let's try again. Let's save it as a different name this time. Let's look at the bottom. Alright, the bottom is gone. And I'm not sure about these pigtails. Weird. Okay. So let's see. Bottom right arm shows rotation circle. Okay, so that's been taken care of. Bottom back hair out of intended alignment. It's lower than intended. So that's this thing here. And if we go back to the hair, okay, let's click on the hair and let's find the pivot point for that hair. Okay, so the hair bottom pivot, there's your problem. See, this is your hair sprite and this is your hair pivot. Therefore, when you import it, there's your hair sprite and there's your pivot. So, I mean, this is really, I mean, just an oversight. You put your pivot in the right place, maybe somewhere around there, and export it again, and that'll take care of that bottom pivot. Let's see here, import. Alright, see, so that moved the hair a little higher. Now I'm not sure if that's where you want it to be, but you'll need to experiment with your character, with your particular sprite, depending on where you want it to be. Maybe you want the pivot to be somewhere right there. I don't know. Let's try that. This one is going to be totally a creative choice on your part. Okay, so in this case the hair gets somewhere in there. Alright, so that's why the bottom hair is misaligned, because basically you put the pivot point somewhere in there, it'll base the positioning of your hair based on where your sprite is. So alright, move on to the next problem. Angle bottom right hand and angle bottom left hand and angle top right and top left hand are rotated 180 degrees in the wrong direction. Okay, so let's see. And this is for the bottom. Alright, let's move. Let's hide some of these. Or let's just move them out of the way for a minute. Just want to see what's going on in here. Wonder if I could just delete them. There we go. Well, the thumb is right there. The fingers are right there. I don't really see a problem with it. They are actually facing the way they're supposed to face. That's the girl's nose right there. That's let's take a look at your rotations and stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break this apart. I'm going to copy the instance name real quick and just break it apart all the way to its basic. Alright. Then I'm going to convert it to a symbol and then go inside of it and convert that to a symbol. We're going to call this one relaxed. Going to exit out and we're going to give this one the proper instance name, the left hand bottom. But see, that's your other problem there. Okay, so in looking at this, all right, so this is you labeled this one left hand and you labeled this one right hand, but keep in mind that when this character is looking straight at you, this is her right arm. You know, all this, see, right, and then you labeled this left. So let's go backtrack a bit before I did all that modifications, because that is actually probably your issue. All right. So you definitely have an issue with the hands. This is you labeled it left hand when it should be your right hand. You labeled this one your right hand when it should be your left hand. Okay, so you just labeled them improperly. Next, angle 0 head out of alignment way up to the left. Okay, well, let's look at the angle 0 head. Angle 0, face 0 pivot. That's the mouth, nose, front hair, back hair, head nud. Okay, we're gonna go here. Guess this would be your face pivot right there. I want to see where your other pivots are, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select all of the layers that have pivots, and this is one of the reasons why I don't like doing all these. But just to make things easier for me, Alright, we're just going to cut those out and create a new layer. We're going to call this pivots. Paste in place. Alright, I'm not worried about all those layers right now. Okay, so let's take a look at the pivot points for that face. It seems to be aligned perfectly fine. Where's my properties panel? Okay. There's my face pivot again. And that should be it again. Face pivot. Now what is this? You have two face pivots right there. So you have the face 270 pivot and you have face 0 pivot right there. Let's get rid of that. You don't need that. That's probably what's causing that. Let's take a look at these other necks. Alright, so let's save that. Control Alt Shift S. Export number 5. Actually, and while we're at it, I'm gonna change this. Wait. Left hand, and right hand. Not a lot I can do about that. Modify, transform, flip horizontal. I guess that's closer to what it needs to be. But I think in the end those thumbs do need to be up. So, but I guess that's controlled by the nut, so it's still fine. So let's go ahead and export it again. Number 5, yes, and front. Number 5, hit OK. I guess I'm gonna have to redo this because of the deletion stuff. Let's bring in a new actor. Import the SWF template. Click OK. And so far so good. The head is back in place. Okay. That looks pretty decent to me. There's an eye missing right there. Okay. Let's do this real quick. Yep, there's an eye missing. Let's take a look at this angle. So now that I flipped them over, the hands are kind of flipped, you know, the weird way. So you got to make sure that these hands are done right. I mean, there's not, you know, too much advice I can give you on that. I mean, they should be looking like this, but you need to label them properly from the start, and right now they're all wacky. So let's see here. Modify, transform, flip vertical. Maybe that'll be enough to fix it. This is a left, left, left. Okay, that might be enough to get it working. Okay, so let's look at another problem. Let's see here. The head is out of alignment. Okay, we took care of that. Angle 0 neck is bent to the left. Well, you know what? Since we fixed that other pivot, that neck is no longer an issue. So that's fixed. angle top front hair is out of alignment. It's lower than intended. So front top hair, oh, it's right there. So the pivot point is placed way up there, when in fact this pivot point probably should be like down here somewhere. Let's see here. Let's see, there's the back hair pivot and there's your front hair pivot. Alright, let's put the front hair pivot right there, because that would be like in relation to its face. So let's go ahead and export it. And we'll import it. Okay, so that takes care of the alignment a little bit. Obviously, it needs to be flipped over. Why is it flipped over? I don't know. So let's see here. What is this? Ears? Right ear, left ear. This is the face top. This is the front hair top. Front hair pivot. What is this again? This is the face. I'm thinking it's because the pivot is not on the right side of the center, so it flips it over. So let's see what happens when we do it like this. There you go. So let's see here. Just got to adjust that pivot a little bit. A little bit more. See, if I put the pivot down some, I have a feeling that's when it's going to flip it over. Alright, so let's export that. Oh, I already did it. And it flips it over because it is being placed below that point. So what we're gonna do is gonna try something different. Let's see. I'm gonna go in here and I'm just gonna do that. Okay, so let's take this front hair top pivot, now that it actually has stuff in there. Just the back here. I'm just going to put it right there. Control Alt Shift S. Let's see what happens now. Okay. So the one thing that I can think of is that that pivot is always trying to be placed, they're always trying to put it right on the center. So we're not going to have much of a choice in this one, but to put this pivot as close to the center as possible based on what I can see. Leaving maybe just a little bit room on the top part. So let's see what happens this time around. Go ahead and get rid of this section here, so we can have it back to the way it was. Alright, Control Alt Shift S, and this is going to be number 10. And we import it. Doesn't want to cooperate. Let's take a look at what else could be happening here. Well, that's the other thing right there. It could also have something to do with the way that this character is facing up. Because this character is looking down this way. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. I'm not sure. I doubt it. I think that's what the original dummy was. Oh wait, what happened here? Looks like I did a little screw up earlier. So, face, top. Let's see, that's the back hair. Let's move that up. Just leave the back hair up there. This is the front hair. We're gonna leave it there. And the face, we're gonna leave it there. Let's see what happens now. There you go. So that puts the front hair where it's supposed to be. Now these pigtails most likely need to be somewhere. Actually, right there too. So they can be in relation to each other. Okay, so let's see. Import 12. There you go. So that works. Let's see. Angle top hair back out of alignment. Yes, we fixed that. Angle top right ear, top left, rotated. 180 degrees in the wrong direction. So angle top right ear, that would be this one, and the top left ear are rotated 180 degrees in the wrong direction. Let's take a look at what's going on there. Okay, so that's the ears. Most likely you just named them opposite, I guess. I don't know. Right ear, left ear. Nope, that's perfectly fine. So what's going on here is most likely just the placement of the pivot points. Let's see here. Trying to see. Notice how this pivot point's placed like right on this corner here, and that's what you end up getting. So let's take these pivot points and put them on the center where the ear actually touches the face. Right there. Okay? So let's go to 13. Import. And that takes care of the ears. Let me see here if I can get this out of the way. And I guess we can get rid of that stuff. But no, that did not take care of the ears, did it? Let's see here. So what's the deal with these ears? Maybe there's some kind of weird angle thing going on. Let me try just breaking them apart first and reconstructing them. Control break. F8. Give it its instance name back. And let's do the same thing with this one. I'm going to copy the instance name and then break it apart. F8. Convert back to symbol. Put the instance name back. And let's try that. Okay, so let's see what happened. Hopefully that worked. Maybe it was just some kind of weird translation thing or transformation thing. And I don't know. I mean, it looks good to me from here, but I don't think that's what you were going for. Nope, it's still doing it. Okay, so let's see here. The only thing I can think of at this point is maybe Crazy Talk has a weird, maybe a bug remaining or something. Let's see here. This is the right ear. Yes. That's the left ear. Yep. And that's the right ear. Yep. That's the left. Right eye. Left eye. let's see where the center of the face is. So this would be the center of your face. Let's try putting this pivot point right at the center of the face, not below it. Let's see if that makes any difference. Maybe a little bit higher. Okay, import. And there you go. It's I guess it's just expecting the ear pivots to be either at the same level of the face or above it, but not below it, because that does kind of mess up the skeletal system a bit. So that's what's going on with that. Alright, so I think that, angle 135 neck shows reference only rotation circle. That was probably you having that rotation circle configured as the neck part. Since we got rid of all the rotation circles before exporting, that should take care of it. I guess we didn't get rid of all of them. Where's this coming from? Yeah, they're no big deal. Alright, so I think this takes care of your issues. Let me see, did we get everything on your list? Yeah, I think that addresses everything. So we're gonna go back, delete her, content manager, put in a new actor, go into the composer, and we're going to save our new template. We're going to call it 16, and import the new template. Okay, so let's inspect her a little bit. For all intents and purposes, it all seems fine except for that right eye right there. That looks fine. Those hands look a little bit weird, but you know, you'll have to adjust the angle of that on your own. That looks fine based on what you have. Let's see, what else? Let's take a look at that eye, even though you didn't mention that in the ticket you submitted. Let's see what could possibly be wrong with that eye. I think it's this one. Okay. This is the right eye 315, left eye 315. Right eye pivot, left eye pivot. Where is my eye? Was it placed at the bottom? There's the right eye pivot. Okay, so let's take a look at the flash file. In this eye, we have inside an eye labeled normal 1, and we have the same thing for this eye. Nope, and that's why. So let's see. So that's why that's there. And Let me go to Puppet Producer real quick. And let's go in here, call it normal. Okay. Yeah, so it's been set properly in there. Alright. 17. Oops. So that should fix that eye. And there it is. So now we do one of these numbers. Did we do that right? Okay, so there's some kind of weird issue, face issue thing going on there. Oh, I guess it was just a visual artifact on the computer. It's a nice character. Let's do a quick calibration. Okay, you might want to adjust the placement of those eyes in relation to the face on that angle, but you know, looks like you're on the right track. Okay, that looks like it takes care of pretty much all your issues. Hopefully this video helps, and if you have any other questions, feel free to let me know.